The European Commission's Regional Environment Programme, Switch Asia, aims to promote sustainable consumption and production, SCP, among small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, and consumer groups in Asia. The SCP approach seeks to reconcile the increasing demand for goods and services that respond to basic needs, while minimizing the use of natural resources, toxic materials, and emissions of waste, in order not to jeopardize future needs. The Switch Asia program focuses on development and application of effective economic instruments that enhance SCP, reinforcement and implementation of legal environmental and safety instruments, a switch to consumption of products that are less environmentally damaging, increased use of environmental-friendly practices by SMEs. The annual demand on resources is continuously growing since the 1970s in an exponential way. It now takes the Earth 1 year and 6 months to regenerate what we use annually. If current population and consumption trends continue, by the 2030s, we will need the equivalent of 2 Earths to support us. Unfortunately, of course, we have only one. The key stakeholders of SCP are the consumers and producers. Both need to know the techniques. For the consumers, how to make buying decisions, and for the producers, how to produce green products. Both parties need the motivation to use these techniques. The policy is the third key stakeholder because policymakers have to provide the framework. The project will focus on assisting the government of Malaysia to strengthen this framework. Current initiatives which are related to SCP are Green Building Index, Reuse, Reduce and Recycle, Eco-Labeling, and Life Cycle Assessment. To develop a national SCP program means planning for the future. Our planning cycle will start with the inventory of existing policies, which will allow to set priority to formulate action plan and to reach an integrated SCP policy framework for Malaysia. The project has 4 components. Each component has 4 results areas need to be achieved, which are National SCP Policy and Organization strengthen, Sustainable Production strengthen, Sustainable Consumption strengthen, SCP benefits demonstrated in production and services sector.
Sustainable consumption and production should help us to achieve sustainable growth and to change our today's unsustainable patterns of consuming and producing goods and services. Sustainable consumption looks at the whole life cycle of products and services, literally from the cradle to the grave. I have here a simple bottle of mineral water which can tell us the story of sustainable consumption and production. This bottle is made from plastic. This plastic is made from petroleum oil. Then it was filled in a refilling station, and then it was brought by retailers to a shop. So we may ask if this has been done in an efficient way, in a sustainable way. Then I went to the shop and I bought this bottle. Maybe I have used the bag. Which kind of bag? Then I have brought this bottle home and put it to an ice box, to a refrigerator. Was this device an energy efficient device? And finally, I emptied this bottle. Should I throw it away? What to do with the bottle? You see, such a simple bottle and such a long story about sustainability. And this is only one part what we are doing in our society. You see that sustainable consumption and production involves many stakeholders, producers, retailers, vendors, consumers, garbage collectors, and so on. All of them have to know how to act responsible. They need motivation to do this. Maybe there are rules and incentives needed. It is the responsibility of the government to provide a policy framework which enables consumers and producers to act responsible and to stay sustainable. To assist the government of Malaysia to shape this policy framework is the purpose of this project. You are invited to join this journey.